So we have a Las Vegas chapel client, and there was a Super Bowl event last year. I think it was last year, where there were rumors on Twitter, like on X, or like everywhere, that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are going to get engaged at the Super Bowl event. And we said this is a perfect opportunity to put our client forward and say to the client, hey, let's say to the media that you will offer a free wedding venue for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I mean, everyone knew that they would not take a free wedding venue, right? But I mean, they would have probably offered it anyway if Taylor Swift would have taken it. And then we said we're going to offer a free wedding venue in Las Vegas if they get engaged, but also we are actually going to do another generous act, which is offer a free wedding venue on Super Bowl Sunday for a couple called Travis and Taylor. And we put these two kind of angles in an email. We push it out, and like in a few hours, it was buzzing everywhere. New York Post and Fox News, and everyone picked it up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Scroll Halters with your host, Mitt, a show where entrepreneurs, creators, and marketers share their best stories and insights. This show is brought to you by Social Marketing Writing. Today, I'm joined by Ferry Kazoni, the founder of Search Intelligence Limited. He's an SEO and PR expert. He's also a coder. Hi, Ferry. Welcome to the show.
Mitt, good to be here. Thank you for the invite. I'm honored to be here, and yeah, looking forward to giving value.
You're welcome. Could you tell the listeners a bit more about what you do and a bit more about yourself?
We are a digital PR agency. I think we are the largest, or one of the largest in the world in terms of like digital PR team. And we run hundreds of campaigns every month to a few hundreds of clients. And we just earn links in national and regional news outlets with interesting stories that we pitch on behalf of our clients. So organic link earning is our main kind of bread and butter.
Okay. And do clients come to you because for SEO purposes, or is it just that they want to get featured on big sites?
It's mostly for SEO purposes. So clients who come to us, they usually have an SEO strategy in place. That's probably 85% of the clients. So they have like an SEO freelancer or an SEO company who's done, an audit and said, hey, you need, this content on the website, you need these technical fixes, and you also need some, links. And out of, this pool of like links, let's aim to get this number of digital PR links as well, which are like, earn links. In an ideal world, people we just want earn links, like 100%, digital PR links, but that's not happening because everyone is also like doing other link building, like buying links and so on. And yeah, our work just ties into the other types of link building where companies spend this amount with us on like organic links, and then they go and buy some links, and then they go and build some different types of links as well. But we are just a little pillar of like the SEO work for now. Because as I think I mentioned before the meeting, we are bringing back all the services we had in 2021 before we started, scaling the digital PR agency. But for now, we are just doing digital PR.
Okay. And is it just companies, as in in-house teams reaching out to you, or do you also have a lot of agencies reaching out to you to help you to outsource the link building?
It's a good mix of both. We have in-house SEO departments of like businesses reaching out. But also we have agencies who come to us for supplementing their digital PR or just to buy their digital PR. We have agencies who buy digital PR from here and from there and then from us. And then we even have freelancers who, they just handhold the client throughout their SEO kind of process, and they sometimes recommend us and they come to us to buy the campaigns for their clients. So we are like both reseller service and also like direct service to businesses as well.
Okay. And so let's say a company wanted to get featured on these sites and get a lot of backlinks. What sort of topic would you normally cover that's likely to get press coverage? I mean, how do you go about brainstorming ideas to find something that'll get covered?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And the process of having the right idea starts with the first meeting with the client. It's very important how we transmit to the client the fact that it's not going to be about the ideas are not going to be about their service. So if they are selling mattresses, our stories are not going to be like, oh, these mattresses are the best mattresses to buy from this client, because nobody cares about the client. And we always say, and like brutally, but but of course we elaborate afterwards. We say to the client, hey, nobody cares about you. So we'll not talk about how great your products are, but we'll talk about something that appeals to the wider audience, or like the wider media, which is thought leadership, something that everyone confronts with throughout their day, because that's what's mostly covered by these news outlets, right? So if it's a sleep client, we're going to say sleep expert, or like, let's say they sell mattresses, we say sleep experts reveal like the scientific approach to changing your bed sheets, like how often you should change your bed sheets, or the best research reveals the best songs to fall asleep to. And then we go to Spotify, we scrape the top list, and then we do a scientific evaluation of the beats per minute of like every song, and then we say these songs are the best to fall asleep to according to kind of science, right? So these are the types of stories that we run for, let's say, a sleep client. So it's always got to be like something more broad and not just about the client.
Do you also do any sort of, do you also experiment with surveys, for example?
Not really, because I think surveys do cost money, and in some cases, when a client comes to us, um, sometimes in order to hit the KPIs, because we guarantee 10 links, right? With every campaign that we run, we say we'll get you 10 links, whatever it takes. If it takes 20 campaigns or 20 stories to pitch, we'll pitch 20 stories. So if we were relying on surveys, it means if we have to, let's say, do 10 stories, to land the 10 links, or like 5 stories, we would have to go and pay for 5 different surveys. And that might just, even just the surveys might cost more than the actual campaign, which is like 5.5K. It might cost more to run the surveys than the whole campaign overall. So we avoid surveys. We focus on, data studies, which means we go and find data on government websites or on official websites. And we scrape it, or like maybe they have an API, and we pass that on to the data team. The data team would go and create like indexes from that, create some interesting angles, and then we write it up and then pitch it. Or we do expert commentary, which is like thought leadership. It means, as I said, with the matrices, we put the client forward as a thought leader in their field. So for a sleep client, if they sell mattresses, we can talk about how to fall asleep, or stuff like that. If it's let's say a supplement client, we can talk about the 5 foods to eat to lose weight, according to experts. And let's say if it's I don't know, if it's a car insurance client, then we can run stories about the most dangerous places to drive in the UK or in America, based on the number of accidents per capita in every city, or per 1,000 miles of road in every city. So these are the type of, we don't talk about, oh, if you want insurance, you have to buy from this company. Like nobody's going to cover that.
And what works better normally, sharing statistics or sharing thought leadership codes?
It varies, and it also depends on region. In the UK, the thought leadership is like killing it. It's like really, really powerful. In the US, data stories are doing better. Thought leadership is good there too, but like the data studies are like slightly better in the US than in the UK. In the UK, the most links that we have earned in the UK was with expert commentary, like thought leadership and expert commentary. That's what works best in the UK.
Okay. And after you collect the data, how do you present it? Do you write an article, or do you create an infographic, or do you do something else?
Yeah, good question. This actually gets asked by many clients before they join. So we do
Okay.
not put anything on the website.
Okay.
We just pitch the whole story via email. So we create a
Okay.
nice report on the data, um, and we pitch it to the press via the email. We put all the tables, or even links to like external data sources, or like spreadsheets that we have created in the email, and then we pitch it. And if the journalist likes the story, they just credit the client in the article with the links. Most of the time, they link back. If they don't link back to the client, then we just go and try to get the links. I think even this week we had I think Fox News where they didn't link, they just mentioned the client, and then our team member went to, I think, to the editorial director of Fox News. Somehow she found out the email, and then we emailed even that. So we go like really the extra mile to try to secure the link if they just mention the client. And the links go to the homepage. So there's no, we try not to dilute the topical relevance of the website, because if you do like 100 studies on a website, let's say if a website is about mattresses, and then you talk about how to get your kids to fall asleep, and it can thin out the topical clusters and the topical authority of the website. So we try not to do that. We try to keep all the extra non 100% relevant content off-site, and then just rely on the links to the homepage that will elevate the whole domain as an authority.
Okay. So that's it. The main steps are finding the data and directly sending it to journalists.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
right. Find the data, write up the report on the data. We always do top 10, bottom 10, or like top 5, bottom 5, or whatever. If it's an index, there's always like best states to fall asleep to, like best states where you can fall asleep fast according to noise levels in the city or something like that, right? And then we say top 5, bottom 5. We create a nice report, and then we push it out.
Okay. And how are you finding journalists to send it to?
We use Muckrack for this purpose.
Okay.
So yeah, we're using Muckrack. It's a media database. We have all the team members there, and they find journalists for every story, almost every story. We have also built our own media database, which we are working on now, and we are quite close to having like a really well polished media database that's as an extra value to the team, where we're going to scrape, I think, tens of thousands of articles every day now with our own crawlers, and we try to identify good journalists for every story. And that's how we find. I think Muckrack is a good tool. We used to use Rockseal as well, but we had two tools and two licenses. We are paying like $120,000 a year in licenses for the both tools for like a larger team. But now we only have Muckrack, and I think we pay like $80,000 a year in licenses for like, I don't know how many people there are in there.
Okay. Does Muckrack also let you send the emails or just find contact details?
It lets you send the emails, but I think, as far as I know, if they have not changed it, it's only sent via SMTP, via your email service, which means you cannot send like 10,000 emails in a day. You can only send as much as Microsoft Office is allowing you to send per day, which is not a lot. I think it's like, I don't know, a few hundreds per day or something like that, like 1,000 per day, which is not enough if you do like lots of sends.
Okay. Have you tried using multiple domains to send them?
Oh, we have our own sending domains. We have our own sending system.
Okay.
So we invested about 1.2 million in our own software in the past 4 years, and we built crazy software. We have, I think I did mention this to you. We have like quite a good software team, and we are a tech company who built tools around our operations. And this email sending tool is part of our tech stack, which can send on peak days. We have had days when we exceeded 1 million emails per day, and I think at this point we send about 250,000
Okay.
per day, which is still quite a lot. But the good thing is, now with AI, we send so targeted that we literally have almost like no unsubscribes, no spam reports, and we go like really, really sharply targeted. So even 250,000 emails, but like really well targeted emails.
Okay. And for the average campaign, how many emails do you send for like each campaign?
Probably, if we would take the average, probably 10,000 emails across, maybe even more, 15,000 emails across many months. So a campaign takes about three months, sometimes even more. For more difficult niches, it can take 6 months or more, depending on like even the client, how much they want to approve. But typically it's 3 months. We send probably 15,000 emails with different angles. So it's not like, oh, we send out one stream with like 1,000 journalists, and that's it. We don't do that. We do send out the first one, and then we try to re-angle, and then we try to send it to this state, to that state, to this city, to that city, and then we try to go. Sometimes we have like 50 streams of sends in every city that's been mentioned in the press release, or every angle. Let's say it's a celebrity press release, and we go to specific celebrity journalists, but also to nationals and to regionals and to it's sometimes it gets wild how many angles we send.
Okay. And normally, have you got any sort of correlation between the number of sends and number of links you get?
I mean, the more you send, the more likely you will get links, but it's not a direct correlation. I think like we should send, and everyone should send as wide as possible without offending journalists. I think that's the balance that we have to find. Send as much as you can, but not that much that you upset journalists.
Okay.
Right? But sometimes we send 1,000 emails and we get 10 links. Sometimes we send 10,000 emails and we only get like 3 links. So we have to launch another story, of course, free of charge until we send again, and then we get we get close to the 10 links mark that we promised.
Okay. Can you share some examples of your successful campaigns? I know you have a lot of them. Can you share some of them?
Yeah, of course. So we've done quite a few. I think a good one was about accidents in the UK. That works all the time. I think if you redo this like every year, every 2 years, you will land links with it. So feel free to take it, for next year, because this year we've done it again. But back then we've done it we had a client called Forbes, Forbes Advisor. When Forbes Advisor used to
Yeah.
dominate everything, and then we've done a campaign for them for their car insurance page. It was about the most dangerous maneuvers while driving in the UK. So we analyzed government data on accidents, and in that data, it is specified like which maneuver resulted in the accident for the specific accident. So we downloaded the big data set, and then we have found that the right turn is the most dangerous maneuver in the UK, which resulted in the most accidents. So we put this together, and we created a nice report for buses, for motorcycles, for cars. We put it in an email, push it out, and we got like lots of links like Birmingham Mail and all the nationals and regionals. So that's a good example of a data study that we have done, and also a good example of how you can take freely available data, and how you can run the campaign for a niche that is kind of related, but it's not about it's not about car insurance. It's about accidents, which is we didn't talk about, oh, you should get if you have an accident, you should get your quote from Forbes Advisor, compare the services with like Forbes Advisor. But we said Forbes Advisor analyzed government data to find out which is the most dangerous maneuver. And it's a good example of how you can keep it kind of, it makes sense for them to run this story, because like a car insurance company or like a car insurance comparison service would probably be reasonable for them to do this story. But also how you can use free data from the government to create something out of thin air.
Okay. And there was one I remember you did where it was about something with Taylor Swift and getting married in a church or a place where the
Oh
wedding
yeah,
happened.
that was a good one. So littlechapel.com, yeah, you can look them up. So we have a Las Vegas chapel client, and there was a Super Bowl event last year. I think it was last year, where there were rumors on Twitter, like on X, or like everywhere, that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are going to get engaged at the Super Bowl event. And we said this is a perfect opportunity to put our client forward and say to the client, hey, let's say to the media that you will offer a free wedding venue for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I mean, everyone knew that they would not take a free wedding venue, right? But I mean, they would have probably offered it anyway if Taylor Swift would have taken it. And then we said we're going to offer a free wedding venue in Las Vegas if they get engaged, but also we are actually going to do another generous act, which is offer a free wedding venue on Super Bowl Sunday for a couple called Travis and Taylor. And we put these two kind of angles in an email. We push it out, and like in a few hours, it was buzzing everywhere. New York Post and Fox News and everyone picked it up because it was like tied into an event and everyone was writing about the event. So this kind of added an extra, useful angle to the journalists. Like, oh, I mean, clickbaity angle, right? People would click on it. This was a good reactive piece. And that's also, like a good thing to do, like with PR, react to events. I think there's now like, some storm with, like Elon now and so on. I don't want
Mm.
to get into like politics, but there's like a storm now going on Twitter. And last night we were all like writing press releases, like, an hour, quickly pushing them out. Some team members were like online at like 10 o'clock or like 9 o'clock in the evening, and they were like pushing out stories, quick reactives, because it's an opportunity to get, easy links. I mean, they don't come up all the time, but when they come up, they have maximum chances of earning links if we react fast enough, right? So reactive PR is also a good one.
How do you stay on top of all of these trends?
Yeah. So I mean, the best thing is have um, Twitter, like, yeah, X, have like the Google app, when like the Google News, but also have TikTok on your main screen. And you
Okay.
have to get obsessed with the news. You have to get obsessed with the news. Like there's no other way, and there's no better way to find news. Yeah, they're like AI agents which scrape, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's great. But the best way to do it is, and to have the real, connection with the news, is to actually be a consumer, like an avid consumer of the news. There's no better way to come up with good stories. It's the best
Okay.
way.
Do you have someone on your team who's always like
Oh,
that's
everyone,
the job? Everyone.
everyone. And we have a reactive channel, and we just post there every time we think something is useful to the team. We just posted, hey, did you see what happened? Oh, have you seen what happened? Or have you seen this? Or did you see what Elon said? Or did you see what this, other celebrity has done? So we always try to share the news as, as we consume them with the reactive channel, to get everyone on alert.
Okay. This was very good. Thank you so much for sharing all those
Of
tips
course.
and insights. Can you tell people more about where they can find you and also learn about your company?
Yeah, just on LinkedIn, just, go on LinkedIn, type this in, and I'll be there. I'll be there with some hopefully funny and entertaining videos as well, but also educational videos. Yeah, just search for my name, Google my name, and I'll be probably there on on LinkedIn and so on.
Yeah, yeah, check out Ferry's stuff. I mean, he posts a lot of stuff, amazing results and case studies on his LinkedIn and also funny videos. I especially like the one with Titanic. It's
Oh, that's good. Yeah. The ending was very controversial. Should we do the ending of the video or not? But we said we'll just do it.
o-
Uh,
okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us and thank you so much for listening.
Good to be here. It was a pleasure.
Goodbye.